guys, it's Nurse Jet, Nursing the Truth. I hope all is doing well today. Well, little Sunny is back with us and she's laying at my feet because, as I told you in my first video of 2020, she got lost on New Year's Eve due to the fireworks going off. So, Nurse J is back to normalcy in her house, and little Sunny is getting back to her routine. So, needless to say, Nurse J was very distraught, but she is better. So, go take a look at my video that I did today, and I'm so proud of that video. No Messiah is coming to rescue us. So, you need to watch that and pay close attention and take notes, friends. So, here we go back on the Josephus Bible, ancient names, and all that kind of good stuff. So, if you are into the historical background of the Bible and all their little tricks, stay with me and stay tuned. Now, if you have not read Tacitus' Annals and the 12 Caesars by Suetonius and Josephus's works, then friends, you're missing out on what's really happened to us since the first century. Now, as I told you, there is a thing called the Pisonian Conspiracy, and that's where the Pisos wanted to take out Nero. And Nero is not as bad as what they portrayed him to be. Because as you know, the victors always writes the history books, friends. And usually they are the wicked ones. So just beware and keep your eyes and ears opened, right? So anyway, the Pisonian Conspiracy. They wanted to get rid of Nero. Nero banished the Stoic philosophers, okay, the writers of the day, the Stoics, you know. Socrates was a Stoic. So anyway, there was a lot of philosophers going on, writing things, plays. Piso was a man of brilliance, and he liked to do plays. He's very theatrical. Tall and good looking dude. And, so there was just a lot of things going on, a lot of writing. Seneca was in on this conspiracy to kill Nero. So, and isn't that funny? Seneca, quote, taught Paul. I'm sure he taught Paul. He taught Josephus's butt, which is Arius Calpurnus Piso. But that's just part of his name, friends. They have like 5 different names, right? In the Roman Empire, they had like 5 or 6 different names. And they can switch them up a bit and kind of throw you out off track. So, anyway, so we're not going to talk about like bogus names in ancient text. And there's a book on this called The Authors of the New Testament by Abelard Roussillon. It's like 50 pages. It's very deep information, short book, easy read, free on the internet. So you really need to check that out, friends. So you had a lot of royal relatives in the ancient world. You know, all of Rome, censorship was controlled by the Roman aristocrats, the families. Some things got out of their control and then rewrote in there, interpolated, and things like that. So just a lot of dirty business going on, friends. And they would hide their names in the Bible using different synonyms and acronyms and things like that, okay? Now we know that what happened is Nero had Josephus's father commit suicide, and he banished him, his mother, and his sister Fania out with the rest of the Stoic philosophers. Okay, and we know that after Nero died, there was, Galba, Otho, and Vitellius. Okay, and then Domitian. Okay, he came after that. Um, well, excuse me, there was no after Nero. There was Titus and Vespasian, and then the Galba, the Ortho, and the Vitellius. No, excuse me, Nero, Galba, Ortho, Vitellius, then Vespasian and Titus and Domitian. Anyway, so that's how that rocks. So he banished Josephus and his mom and his sister and all the Stoic philosophers. Okay, and they were gone. And then they came back after Emperor Domitian died, and then that's when Nerva took over. So his name has been very hidden in history. You can he's under Arius Calpurnus Piso, Arius Antonius Piso, Gnaeus Antonius Piso. You know, his wives' names are in there. It all checks out. And he was a writer. In Pliny's letters, he talks about Antonius Primus, Primus, Montanus. He does talk about the Pisos, talks about the Piso conspiracy. And Pliny was an attorney, and he was also, you know, head of, I think, Bithynia or somewhere in Egypt as well. And Josephus was out at Bithynia, and Pliny would check on him. Okay, it's like this villa. Okay, and Pliny would you know stick up for them, and he was going to the Senate, and the Senate didn't like you know the Pisos in some regard, but then some of them did. They're very well known. They were the richest family in Rome at the time. Especially when Josephus died, he gave all the money that he had. It went to his grandson, which was Antonius Pius, which was an emperor of Rome. So go look that up too. And at that time, like I said, Antonius Pius, because of the money that Josephus, as Arius Calpurnus Piso, willed to him. So it's a very wicked web, friends. It really is. And some of these emperors, they had pen names. Some of them wrote as Lucian. Some of them wrote as, you know, Marcus Aurelius. Had different pen names. So, y'all, it's Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic as well. And so you can kind of see where that comes from. So back to Josephus's family. His mother was Aria the younger, and her mother was Aria the elder or Aria the senior. And he, like I said, he also had a sister named Fania, and they were exiled. And through his maternal ancestry, one finds his relationship to the Flavians and his ancestry through Seneca's family. See, it all connects. Seneca, Josephus, Arius Calpurnus Piso. You have other writers as well, Priscus and Rufus. And I mean, you really need to do your research, people, because it really is fascinating. I know people are like, oh, I don't like the ancient world. I hate it. It's stupid. But y'all, when you start watching the Roman Empire on Netflix, you start reading books of Pliny and all these people, it really starts to wake you up really quickly. So anyway, he had a relationship with the Flavians, ancestry from Seneca's family. He was also descent from Mark Antony. And he, dun, 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 can I get your ears open? Did you know Josephus was related to Herod the Great? What? Yes, folksies. He was related to Herod the Great. Let me get me a drink right quick. Herod the Great, my friends. And who was Herod the Great's? Who was he related to? Does Herod Agrippa ring a bell? First and second? And who was Saul related to in the scriptures? Herod Agrippa. Isn't that something? Wow. So anyway, Josephus Eris Calpurnus Piso was related to Herod the Great. So, what you think about that, friends? Are you really scratching your head now? Is that really what's making you tick now? You're going, okay, Herod the Great, these wars, the Hasmoneans, the Zealots, Josephus, Saul, Paul, Roman Empire. But now the trick is, people, who are these wives that they were married to? Herod the Great was married to a Hasmonean princess. The Hasmonean Maccabean princess called Miriam the First. Okay? So now you have a bloodline that is intersecting the Herodian Idumean bloodline to the Hasmonean Maccabean, Judas the Maccabean, Simon the Maccabean bloodline. And now you're having children that are half Hasmonean, half Herodian. And in history, you know, there's history and then there's fake nonsense. Herod was getting rid of as many people as he could that were Hasmoneans. Except his maybe offspring. So anyway, that's going to be another video, possibly. Who was Herod the Great's grandson? And I'm going to leave it at that. So, or possibly. Like I said, he had many names. Antonius Primus. He had, his first name is Marcus. Because Marcus Antonius Arius Calpurnus Piso. Okay? Because he was a descendant of Marcus or Mark Antony. You see. And Mark Antony had a child with Octavia. Okay? And he also had 3 children with Cleopatra. Cleopatra Selene. Helios. And then Ptolemy. Philopator. So now we have a situation that Josephus is related to Cleopatra. We also know that Cleopatra had a son with Julius Caesar, which was called Caesarion. And then, quote unquote, he was being hidden out and, quote, was killed by Octavian. Because at that point, he would have been the next king of Rome, or the emperor of Rome. and would rule Egypt and Rome. And that's what Cleopatra was trying to do, is combine the two, but still have Egypt under her belt. Okay. Without actually Rome coming over and taking over completely. So now that Josephus is related to Julius Caesar's son, okay. No, excuse me, back up. He was a Mark Antony. Okay. Let's back up. Mark Antony and Cleopatra had the three. Okay, since Josephus is relatives with Mark Antony, then he is related to Cleopatra and Mark Antony's children, not Julius Caesar. Okay, back that up. In Rome, Julius Caesar married a Piso. He married into the Piso family, Calpurnia. Okay, so he married Calpurnia Piso. So the Big Mac Daddy Piso of them all, since they were the richest family, he thought he could combine the two families, the Caesars and the Pisos. Okay. And I'm watching this dog here. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what she's trying to do. Lay down, Sonny. Sorry. So anyway, he tried to combine the two to rule the Rome. And so they were always battling, the Caesars and the Pisos. So the Pisos' name was also called Caesianus, or Little Caesars. So they're always battling. So hell no. You think Josephus wanted Julius Caesar's son to be Emperor of Rome? No. So they had to get rid of Caesar's son. Okay. So Cleopatra aligned herself with Mark Antony and had the three children. Now Josephus is related to the three of Cleopatra and Mark Antony's children. And there you go. So you had all these people mixing, aunts and uncles and cousins, and all that. Okay. So now you can kind of understand why they had to get rid of Caesarion. So anyway, moving on. So he's related to, like I said, Seneca. And then Josephus was far off in Bithynia and Panoa. And he was a great Roman general. Josephus was a Roman general. Don't buy this bullshit of Josephus being a Judean general. Think, people. If Rome conquered Judea, do you think they would give Judean generals, Judean governors? No. Rome puts who they want in there, and they don't give the people their rights. He was secretly ruling Rome with Titus under Vespasian, and he killed Vitellius, and his name was known as Antonius Primus. And Domitian did not like Josephus, okay, like Titus did. Titus liked him. But he knew what he was up to because, see, on the outskirts, or on the down low, as we say in the South, he was writing Stoics, letters, epistles. Yeah, he even went to court. There was even a court case against him about these epistles. People? and Pliny was defending him. And so he Domitian exiled him to Bithynia. But he kept Pliny the Younger very close. Keep your enemies closer, right? Because he knew what he was doing. So he had to make sure what he was up to. Since Herod was related to Josephus, the Herodians, before they came in to do their business, they got the Herodians the hell out of there. Because basically this was an ongoing battle between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. This was a religious doctrine problem, and also with Rome as well, by being in the empire. But the Pharisees and the Sadducees were going back and forth, okay? And they were making a war against themselves. And the Herodians were warned prior to the attack of Jerusalem. My man Herod Agrippa, from Josephus Paul, get the hell out of there, because we're fixing to come bomb your ass, right? Herodians were allowed to leave Jerusalem and live in Rome. And what was the reason for that? The Herodians were relatives of them. And they were their allies against the Pharisees and the scribes. Okay? Another reason is because the Herodians were the leadership of the Sadducees. And that is because they had inherited that along with the transfer of power from the Hasmoneans, who were the prior leadership of the Sadducees. So you just got to understand. And also, you find out that Area the Elder was the sister of Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, the one that was with Nero, that wanted to kill Nero. So isn't this something? Josephus's grandmother was the sister of Seneca. Aren't you liking this little rabbit trail, friends? Doesn't that make sense? Josephus getting with the homeboy Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, the Stoic writer, the Stoic rhetorician. They get together. Hey, cuz, hey, unc, let's go down with this. We getting rid of home, dude. I'm just speaking like it is, right? Now is it making sense, friends? There's so many names that are hidden. Okay, so let's do this. I'm talking about Josephus's mother now. Area the Younger was the daughter of Area the Elder, which was the sister of Seneca. She is seen as Caecina Area / Miriam Area Minor, from Ptolemy Bar Minas, or Memnon. You can go on the internet and put in Area the Younger and it will come up Miriam in the genealogy.com. Her son Arius Piso will be known to the Jews as of the men, M-I-N. Area Gala. In the histories given, she is known as the wife of Publius Clodius Thrasa Paetus. The name of her daughter is given publicly as Phania, but disguised. The name of her Arius must be deduced for the most part, as with Aria the Younger's mother. Arius Piso too is hidden especially well. P. Clodius Thrasus Paetus was put to death under Nero, like Gaius Calpurnus Piso, because they are one and the same person. And his wife Aria the Younger is banished from Rome by Nero, only to return again under Emperor Vespasian and to be banished again under Domitian. As Aria Galla, she is wife of Domitus Silius, who had quietly surrendered her to Gaius Calpurnus Piso. We also find that she was married to Caligula prior to being married to Gaius Calpurnus Piso, but Domitus Silius appears to be under another husband before Caligula. Yeah, she was married. Josephus's mother was married to Caligula. So anyway, friends, I hope that gives you a little bit more of a backdrop on more about Josephus and his names and the ancient history of these workings. Also, do you remember in the scriptures it talks about Priscilla and Aquila, the two Christians that were converted, and they were going around telling people about the Lord? Well, Josephus talks about in his life, his third marriage, he married a Jew from Crete, and her name was Bonilla Priscilla. So there again, friends, Josephus puts his wonderful third wife's name in the scriptures as going around and spreading the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. Until next time, Hotep and Ashe, and search for the truth as always, friends. And we'll be back with another enlightening video. Goodbye, friends.